Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with
The Rocker Chick.
and
Jubb.
Jubb. Man, you make one clerical mistake.
Nope, it wasn't one. It's been a
you
couple.
make 10 clerical mistakes. So those of you who are a part of the what is it? What do we have? Patreon, thank you. Apparently I did spell J-Dub's name wrong again. I blame my keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But I also blame the fact that I don't proofread everything that I type in there. So, Jubb's with us tonight.
You're supposed to be a professional. Get your shit together.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Tucson world, have you ever known me to be professional?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta admit, though, that new video I'm working on looks pretty good.
Yep.
I'm double checking all my words, too.
Oh, believe me, I was reading it.
Well, as always, as we get into our little banter here, if you don't like it, you don't want to hear the banter, then there is a timestamp in the show notes, so you can jump ahead to when the story starts. And don't forget, we have a Patreon where you can find all my misspellings and haphazards. That is patreon.com/Tusop. Go check it out. And also go check out the website for all of our merchandise.
Yeah.
There's some great designs on there. All right, girls, what is going on?
We all have colds.
We do. Yeah, you can hear it in my voice big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get my Barry White on now.
Sure can.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't shake it. I've had it for about 2 weeks. It's not like it's going to put me down, but it's just enough to irritate me. The other night I had the cold shake so bad I could barely. I had to crawl into my bed. No, I went to a hot shower just to quit the shaking.
Yeah.
And it was just like my body was just. Oh, it's so weird, man. I don't know. I'm sure you guys know all about that shit out there and. Pod world, getting sick and having the cold shakes, but what did I read tonight? Trying to figure out my winter sleeping where I have the heat on, the fan on, the window cracked. I'm under 13 blankets and I got 1 foot sticking out.
Well, and it's like, I'll be out, like if I'm outside, I don't have my cough. But then if I'm inside somewhere, I cough constantly.
It's that differential in the cold to the heat, whereas like your body is starting to warm up and all that phlegm is like starting to loosen, and we'd like to come out now.
Yeah.
And you're like, bleh.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, I hate it. I hate being sick.
I do too. I
don't think it's anybody's favorite.
And it's her fault though.
Oh.
Yeah, she picked it up wherever the fuck wherever she got it at, and gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
like
we
it.
work in a hospital. It's pretty, yeah.
I almost considered starting wearing a mask inside the hospital again.
You were probably licking doorknobs.
Just the one in OB, but it was fine.
You. Gross.
I mean X-ray. I mean OR. I don't even remember where I was at. Maybe it was all of them.
Probably.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
I mean, of all the weird shit you would see in a hospital, if you saw an employee licking a fucking doorknob, that would probably be the weirdest shit you'd ever see.
I'm just trying to get sick.
I just want to go home.
Fuck this place. I want to go.
I'm ready to go home. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so what have you guys been up to? We're rounding out Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still shitting turkey, so, enjoy that one.
You mean gravy?
Oh, I love me some brown gravy, though. Could eat that all day long. Getting ready for Christmas. Are you getting excited for Christmas?
Sure. That's a very long pause.
That's a pretty long pause.
Yeah. Feel the same way.
I think I could get excited for Christmas when all the presents are bought and you just don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that portion of it anymore.
Sean's done. That's about it.
About all for Sean. I bought a few things for the rocker chick she
Well,
doesn't know about.
He's been on this kick of watching on YouTube this guy that has all these aquariums, but he does it to where they're like ecosystems. So he never has to clean it. He never has to do water changes. He never has to do anything because everything does it itself.
Okay.
And so Sean wanted an aquarium to start an ecosystem. So yesterday we went out and got all the stuff. No, we didn't get any shrimp or fish or anything yet because I was like, we have hard water.
Right.
We need to make sure the water's perfect for these guys because I don't want him to be devastated because they all died.
Right.
Yeah, we got home. We got all the stuff. We got home yesterday. I'm like, we should watch the video on how to set this up correctly. He goes, oh, no, I've watched them.
Uh-oh. Did it go bad?
Well, we have hard water.
Right.
And it's still cloudy. And he didn't. I said, well, shouldn't we rinse this? Shouldn't we do this? No, it's fine. It's aquarium safe. Okay. We should have watched the video. So he's at home watching it right now. After we've already put everything in it, the plants, the rocks, everything. Because they're live plants. They're not fake plants because of the ecosystem thing.
Ecosystem. Yeah, I get you. Is that, but it's not salt water. It's just regular water.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe we should get some plants. Would that help? No.
We have hard water, and it's always going to be...
Is there no way... Well, I mean, we could just go get cases and cases of fucking, bottled water and put in there.
We could.
Wouldn't have to worry about the hard water.
So
that's a
he's
thought.
trying to figure out how to get the hardness out of the water so that we can get because he wants to get shrimp and snails to start out.
Oh, right on.
And then fish.
I've never seen. I know that one of the offices that I go to has snails in it. Because I got into a long conversation with a patient the other day about this aquarium that they have. Oh. She was quite the talker.
Imagine that.
And she was a lot of fun. That. Yeah, she was a lot of fun. Yeah, because you'd end up texting me and like, did you guys leave your light on? I'm like, no, we usually shut. Bobbi, I should say the rocker chick shuts it off before she goes to bed and then turns it on when she gets home. If I think about it, I'll turn it on when I get home, but it's pretty rare that I have that thought.
I told Sean we should get one of those timers for it.
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Then you can be lit up half the day and not, off half the day. So maybe we ought to think about something like that. Putting a timer on it. It'd freak your fucking dog out, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
like a fucking light
like,
come on. He'd be like, just shit's up, bitches. Anything exciting going on in the paranormal world? I spent some time watching some different videos this over the weekend. A lot of interesting, pop-ups and so on and so forth. But you guys run into anything exciting?
I haven't.
I watched the new Project Fear on YouTube.
Yeah?
They're at the Ancient Ram Inn. It was pretty creepy.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty creepy.
Huh. I watched a bunch of stuff that I'm going to do for my story for next week. That was a lot of, that was interesting. So,
cool.
Hopefully I don't butcher it like I did the Borley Rectory.
Well, I'm probably going to butcher a lot of words in mine tonight. So
okay.
It'll be all right.
That's cool. As long as we all do it together. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Bunny Man last week.
Hopefully.
I thought it was a pretty good story. Even listening back to it while I was editing, it's like, this is a really good story. Let's put together, way better than mine the week before.
That's all right.
I hate to disappoint our listeners. I want to put together good stories, and I think I felt like I faltered on you guys. So my next story, I really, really, really worked on really, really hard. So hopefully I don't fuck it all up, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. Well, does anybody have a question, or let me ask it, or whatever we do? What?
Let me ask you this.
Get in trouble by Colton. Watch out.
What is one of the strangest dreams you've ever had?
I have some pretty fucked up dreams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dream. It was almost. It was when when my mom and dad were still married. That tells you how long ago that's been. But it was like a cross between a suffocation and a being smashed dream by a giant bolt. But I don't ever remember being under. It's so weird. I can't remember it exactly. But this dream I would wake up screaming when I was younger, and it wasn't like it was anything terrifying. But I've had the dragons, or not dragons, but dinosaurs and wartime dreams. I've had all kinds of weird fucking dreams. So, but I'm going to go back to that one when I was a kid. That was the worst because I just, even when I would think about it after I was awake, it would still give me the shakes. I would get really, this feeling come over me. But I can't remember the dream specifically, but I had it all the time. It was just weird. How about you, J-Dub? Anything?
The most recent one, everybody knows that my friend got married.
Uh-huh.
And all of the groomsmen and most of the people there were bearded guys because they're in this beard club in Nashville. Well, the night of the Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, yeah.
Or the night before the Mike Tyson night, I don't remember. I went home and Sean was watching all this stuff on boxing and MMA fighting and all this other stuff. Well, then my friend sends me her wedding pictures to look at. So I'm looking at her wedding pictures and I'm watching the fighting and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to bed. So I had a dream that
did these worlds collide?
All of these bearded men are fighting and boxing, kicking each other at her wedding.
Nice.
I couldn't see any faces. I just knew they were all bearded and they were just fighting each other at her wedding. I'm like, oh my God.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's always weird how some of the last things you do before you go to bed will stick with you through into your dreams. All right, Rocker Chick. I don't know. We've been together a long time. You've never talked about dreams.
Yeah, I don't really have very many dreams, but like me or like you, I always had this reoccurring dream as a kid where I was in the pitch black and couldn't find my way out. And then you wake up and you're in the dark, and so it would stick with me for a long time.
Have you guys ever experienced that time span between what is it called? Is it when you go into REM sleep, just before you go into that deep sleep that they say that you're supposed to go into in the middle of the night? There's you have your I'm laying down and I'm starting to go, and then you have this section, this gray area, and I can't remember what it's called, and then you get into your REM sleep. Have you guys ever been in that space in between the two and hear somebody yell your name?
Yeah.
You have had that happen?
Mm-hmm. My Fitbit app says awake, REM, light, and deep.
Okay, maybe it is the REM sleep that I'm thinking of that you're kind of getting into, but
yeah,
I just know that there's let's just say before light and deep, the middle of that is like when you're just about to kind of just completely be, to nothing, and you're just laying there, and all of a sudden somebody screams your name. It's happened to me more than once.
Wee.
Yeah, but Jen's got it. You've never had it?
Mm-mm.
Never.
No. I don't think so. I don't remember if
Tonight, after she falls asleep, I'm just going to open the door and yell her name and then just leave. I'd be curious if anybody out there has ever had that happen. United States Paranormal at gmail.com. I mean, there's nothing there. Is it in your brain? I've heard explosions. It sounded like, something went when I hit that zone too, which is weird. Which will wake me up and be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But it all seems to be maybe there's something weird going on in my brain. Maybe?
Maybe.
Chemical imbalance?
I don't know.
Not enough chemicals in my balance? I don't know. So yeah, there you go. There's your dream question, people. I'd love to hear maybe some of your weird dreams that you guys might remember. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember their dreams.
I hate the ones where you can't remember your dreams, but you have this gut-wrenching feeling, and you're like, it's with you all day. I hate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had those too, where it's like you're really upset over a fucking dream, but you're upset all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of dreams and all that, are you ready to get into today's story?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this thing.
All right. I'm going to butcher some words and probably have to take a few breaks because I can't talk too long and then I'm coughing.
Are they Russian names? I'm just checking.
No.
Okay.
All right. We are going to talk about Astral Projection.
Nice.
Yeah. This is kind of different.
I'm excited.
Astral Projection, also known as astral travel, soul journey, soul wandering, spiritual journey, spiritual travel, is a term used to describe an intentional out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a subtle body known as the astral body or body of light, through which consciousness...
Can you say that again?
Consciousness can function separately from the physical body and travel throughout the astral plane. The idea of astral travel is ancient and occurs in multiple cultures. The term astral projection was coined and promoted by 19th century theosophists. Yeah. It is sometimes associated with dreams and forms of meditation. Some individuals have reported perceptions similar to descriptions of astral projection that were induced through various hallucinogenic and hypnotic means, including self-hypnosis. There are no scientific evidence that there is a consciousness whose embodied functions are separate from normal neutral activity, or that one can consciously leave the body and make observations of the physical universe. As a result, astral projection has been characterized as non-scientific.
I believe that.
Ancient Egyptian teachings present the soul as having the ability to hover outside the physical body via the subtle body. This is seen in ancient transcriptions, like in the Book of the Dead.
The Book of the Dead.
In the Amazon, the Yaskomo of the Waiwai, is believed to have the ability to perform a soul flight that can serve several functions, such as healing, flying to the moon to consult cosmological beings, the moon or the brother of the moon, to obtain a name for a newborn baby, flying to the cave of Picaris. I looked it up. They're like wild boars.
Oh, nice.
Cave of Picaris Mountains to ask the father of Picaris for abundance of game, or flying deep down into the river to seek the aid of other beings. So it's pretty different for everybody, I guess. But I did find some real accounts that are kind of... It's like, are you dreaming? Is this really happening? I don't know.
Right on.
So this guy said that he wanted to stay anonymous. My grandma unfortunately passed away in November of 2022. Since then, I have seen her in some positive dreams, which is always a beautiful experience. However, I've also had encounters during astral projection / sleep paralysis with entities pretending to be my dead relatives. And this incident was bone chilling. I had fallen asleep on my couch watching TV when I suddenly felt awake. I could see my living room, but my surroundings looked fuzzy. This is how I usually know I'm astral projecting. I look to my right and I see my grandma along with my mom looking at me from the corner of the living room. I couldn't see them clearly, but I heard my mom say, "Please come give your grandma a hug. She misses you." I got up from the couch and started approaching them. As I got closer and could see them more clearly, I noticed that my grandma looked different. Her eyes looked dark, her face looked withered and sad, and I felt this heavy energy surrounding her. I wouldn't say that it felt like evil energy. It felt more like deep sadness and loneliness. This was not like my grandma at all. She was always joyful and smiling and cracking jokes even in her final days.
It reminds me of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey when Bill S. Preston Esquire was getting chased by his grandma. Just give Granny a kiss.
Oh boy. I realized that this entity was not my grandma, but I was overwhelmed with the intense loneliness and sadness that I felt coming from her. I decided to hug her anyway, hoping that whatever this entity was, that my hug would give them some sort of healing energy. But as I hugged her, I whispered in her ear, "I know you are not my grandma, but I want to hug you anyway because I know you need it." That's when things took a turn. Ooh. The woman started crying, wailing and screaming at me. "I am your grandma. How dare you say I'm not your grandma?" I had pulled away from the hug at this point, but she grabbed onto my arms and was shaking me violently while continuing to wail, sob, and scream at me. Suddenly, a bright white light started flashing around us. She stopped yelling and started looking around, startled by the flashing white light. My mom was also startled by the white flashing light, and both of them were looking around in fear. Suddenly, I was back in my body on the couch, no longer projecting and now physically awake, and they were gone. But my LED strip lights that were plugged in at the same corner of the living room where I saw them were flashing white light. This has never happened with these lights before. I didn't even have them set on the white setting, but they had been on the blue setting. I grabbed the remote trying to turn off the white light, but it didn't work. I had to unplug the light to make it stop. When I plugged it in again, the white lights no longer worked. I told my friend what happened, and he freaked out and said, "That is some poltergeist shit." This is the first time I've had an astral projection experience where I felt like it affected something in the physical realm. I was shocked to wake up from the projection to the lights flashing, and even more freaked out that the remote did nothing and that the white lights never came on again after plugging them back in. This next one, the guy's name was Learn, Stalk, Be Informed. He pretty much is telling us the types of people and things he's seen while he's been astral projecting. So he says, first off, I'm by no means an expert at astral projection. I started purposely learning to astral project almost 3 years ago. I've been a sufferer of sleep paralysis my whole life, so began using this as a means to enter the astral. I seem to naturally attract entities, good, bad, and neutral. I can see them and they can see me. I've learned not to be scared of them because honestly, I find them fascinating, and the majority of my astral exploration has been in learning more about the beings that reside there, rather than traversing the world/universe. So I'll tell you what I've encountered, and I'm going to start with the negative beings I have encountered, but there are positive ones too. Shadow entities. Probably the most common being that anyone encounters on the astral plane, I'd imagine, as well as the physical plane. Many people claim to catch glimpses of shadow people. They appear as tall, human-like shadowy masses. No discernible features I've noticed besides having red eyes. They kind of float/hover above the ground. They've never spoken to me. They consistently have a negative vibe. They've forcefully dragged me into the astral on many occasions against my will, pulling me out of my body. Sometimes there's only one, sometimes many of them, to the point they've surrounded me. Hooded entities. Similar vibes to the shadow beings. I've encountered these beings a couple of times. They wear long black hooded cloaks/robes, chainmail around their heads, think like knights. Their skin is gray, rotten, and they have holes where their eyes should have been, and their hands are skeletal. They absolutely do not like when you can see them. They've spoken to me to tell me, I bring pain, and I'm here to create pain. And they do cause pain, like a searing, hot, burning sensation wherever it's touched me. They have also told me, I do not care for your religion, and I do not care which God you pray to, which may have been a scare tactic, I'm unsure. Their voices are very deep, raspy, and angry. It's important to remember that these beings feed on fear, so the less fear you show them, the less likely they are to bother you. I see them less frequently the more I have practiced astral projection. Various neutral entities. I think they may just be spirits of people deceased. I've seen the spirits of various women and men just wandering on the astral planes. They don't tend to interact unless I interact with them first. I have spoken to a male spirit once who told me he had been a firefighter who died during the fire of 1945. The devil. I don't believe it was really the devil himself, but I once met a being who claimed to be the devil and looked the part, and who surrounded himself with shadow beings. I'm convinced they were just trying to scare me away from projecting. Gargoyle creatures. These are some of the most interesting beings I've encountered because I've no real idea what they were or what they wanted. Small gargoyle-type beings, almost like winged monkeys. Black like shadows, but still with discernible features. They crouched all around my bed, sat on my partner's chest as he slept, sat on my body as I slept too, and I watched them from my astral body. They became confused when they noticed my soul was not inside of my body as it should be. They didn't seem particularly yeah, particularly, thank you.
Yeah.
Negative, more mischievous than anything. The goat man.
Oh, the goat man.
The goat man. I've learned more about this being than any other so far. We formed a connection after a chance encounter. The first time I saw him, I was scared, and he, as all of them seemed to, fed on my fear/energy. But I was fascinated by him. I'd call out to him every time I entered the astral after that. He chose to keep me safe from the shadow entities, protected me, and banished them on multiple occasions. I've had many, many conversations with him. He told me he can take any form he chooses, but appears to me as the Goat Man because that is how I recognize him. He says his true form is pure light, which he has demonstrated, and it was a warm, pure thing I've ever experienced, and hard to explain. I've asked why he's there for me, and he replied he is there to help, but also admitted he is there for my energy. I asked what the meaning of life is, and he replied it is to experience. I asked what happens after death, and he told me safety. He also informed me that everyone in the universe is connected, but that some connections are stronger than others. He has also appeared to me in lucid dreams and informed me it is a safer place to meet than the astral. I asked why we have a connection, and he replied that I'm safer with him than with lower beings. For a while, I believed him to be a spirit guide, but on my reflection, I realized this is not true. He is simply a being, not unlike He is simply a being, not unlike ourselves, neither entirely good or bad, and we formed a connection. I guess a sort of friendship, and I hope to learn more about him. As for positive entities, I once met a female spirit of some kind. She just had this sort of warm, glowing energy radiating from her. Just pure positivity. Oh, she must be related to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know who she was or why she was there, but it was a nice experience. I've also encountered on a few occasions sort of glowing orbs of white light that seemed to radiate positivity. The time that the Goat Man demonstrated his true form was the same. Just pure, brilliant white light, like warm and comforting and loving. But I've definitely had more negative encounters than positive ones. But it may be that I subconsciously go looking for these beings because I have so many unanswered questions and I want to know more about them. I haven't spent a huge amount of time alone, I think, because, again, my focus has always been learning about the beings that reside in the astral more than anything else. However, I have on occasion flown as far as space and viewed the planet from above, projected for a short while to an alien world. Gross. And I've just sort of traveled without purpose. It's something I need to focus more on, but I need to have an objective in mind in order to do this. My objective has always been to learn about otherworldly beings rather than the world itself. So, my husband Sean has told me that he's done this. And he didn't tell me until we watched that movie. Oh, what is it called? Hold on. Time out.
Insidious?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Did it have what's his name in it? DiCaprio.
No, not DiCaprio.
Okay.
It is Insidious, but it's Patrick Wilson. Yeah. So we were watching Insidious, and Sean says, I've done that. I'm like, what? What have you done? He's like, I've gone out of my body and I've looked at myself and flown, around my house and that kind of thing. He's like, I've gone outside, I've gone to town and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of freaky because I don't think I've ever done that. Did
he say why? Mm-mm. He just, he went to sleep and then he just did that.
Yeah, when he was younger. He says he doesn't do it anymore.
Well, it sounds to me like you can train your brain to do it. I mean, if you go by... for starters, was that a male or a female that told that story of the astral plane?
I don't know. It just had the learned stock be informed.
Gotcha. It sounds to be like in that bit that they have trained themselves to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. Although... it doesn't sound like it's safe to go in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're concerned about your soul, I wouldn't think that you'd be
And I would think, like, I'm wondering, like, is that, like, limbo for spirits and stuff like that
Could
that
be.
are not in actual limbo, but they're in, like, you know.
They're
Ghost
stuck.
limbo?
They're stuck in the in between.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Not that I watched that show, but the in between.
The answer I got wrong.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's a lot of the paranormal stuff says it. That's why.
Or the veil between the two worlds.
Yeah, but intelligent hauntings, you would think would be stuck in that middle ground, and that's why, you know, residuals are just basically a film strip that keeps playing over and over again. But in intelligent ones are ones that can speak to you and do things and stuff like that. And that may be because they're caught behind the veil and just on the other side, just enough to reach through. And if you're going to do something like that, where else would you go but there?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that that's where that would put you. Honestly, just thinking about it off the top of my head, it's not something I pondered for hours or anything, but I would think that that's where that would put you, is in between those two planes. It depends on what your religion is, people. Where you believe you're going to go after you die. If you go to heaven, or if you go to, I'm very religious ignorant, to be 100% honest. I don't know a lot about the other religions, but I know that everybody has their place, whether they be reincarnated or go someplace. Then
Everybody has their own beliefs.
yes. And that's perfectly fine. I believe that you need to have your own beliefs. But that's where I would think that would put you. That would be the fast track to go wherever you want to go, because it just goes wherever you want it to go. But yeah, I've never done something like that. It's not something that I've ever encountered or experienced.
I don't think I have either. I mean, if I did, I just thought it was a dream.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, is it just a dream? Have we just fixated on something like we talked about earlier, and your mind is now playing that trick on you that you're doing this? But I don't know.
You're putting yourself in like a hypnotist type
Yeah.
thing, and
But even when I was hypnotized, I don't remember going anywhere. It just lost time. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was taking a nap, be honest.
it didn't work for me, so I don't know. My brain doesn't.
You never
work that
lost
way.
time?
I didn't quit smoking either, so it didn't work for me.
I lost an hour. They were like, you were under for an hour. I'm like, seriously? Because I made a comment about, like, you just made that much money for fucking 5 minutes of work. And he goes, no, you were under an hour. I'm like, oh. No, was I
it
not?
the quit smoking seminar guy?
No, this was a private guy somewhere over by the Illinois border, I do believe.
Yeah, and you quit, but I didn't. It didn't work for me. I heard everything he said the whole time, and just kind of. I was just relaxed.
You didn't let yourself go. You gotta let yourself go. Be a part of the situation.
Capable of that.
My mom went to the quit smoking seminar, and she was done.
That was it. It was just over.
It worked for her.
Listen, I'm a true believer that that if you set your mind to anything, you can make it happen. Yeah. All you got to do is just don't lie to yourself about it.
Hold yourself accountable.
Pretty much, and make yourself work through it. At least that's where I'm at with that. But it's when you want to reach that point, and she didn't really want to when we went, and that's why she was shut off to it. You know I'm right.
Okay.
You just shut me out all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, anyway, very good. Very good. Interesting. Extremely interesting, actually. I'm going to have to look into how to do that. It might be interesting to do.
There you go.
I will sneak into your room at night. There's an astral plane in there and whisper in your ear, "Rocket chick."
Ozzy will bite you.
He can't see me.
I bet you he could.
He can't see into my phone when people are talking to him. I don't know what you're talking about. That silly dog. Yeah, so much untapped potential in that particular field. Yeah. Can't call it a field of science because I don't think there's any scientific way around it. But
that's what it said.
So,
but I mean, it's all the way back into ancient Egypt. I mean, they have they have it in the Book of the Dead.
Right, right.
So, I mean,
yeah. Well, they weren't bogged down with TikTok and Instagram and the things all the
bullshit of the world. Anyways.
Yeah. They were pretty open minded to a lot of things, which probably is why we shut a lot of things down. We get a lot of misinformation and a lot of everybody else's fucking opinions on shit, and we tend to second guess ourselves on what we believe. And listen, people, I am 100% behind you that you need to believe in what you want to believe in. I will not hold it against you. It doesn't matter to me what you want to believe because that's you. I had a long conversation with somebody today about, well, it wasn't a long conversation, but where we are in our politic world and so on and so forth. And this particular person was a Trump person, very much a Trump person. But he's still very open-minded to allowing, not what does he say? Not going for the jugular when somebody said something about voting for Harris. And it's like, that's why we're in this country. That's why it's great, because we have choices. Yeah. We just got to remember, people, that not everybody is going to believe the same thing you believe, and you need to accept them and just let them be happy. We don't have to fight over it. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. If you don't want to believe in the paranormal, you don't want to believe in ghosts, fine. But don't yell at Joe Smo over here because he does. It doesn't make any sense.
But if you bring up aliens, I'm going to yell at you.
I send you as much alien shit as I possibly can.
Yes, you do.
I
yell at you.
Yeah, and I love every minute of it. I laugh when I'm hitting the send button. I'm like, look at this alien's on the toilet, and he's about to find a portal in that toilet and get sucked in.
Rude.
Oh, very, very interesting. All right, guys, nice job.
Thanks.
We're gonna get out of here. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, don't forget we are on Patreon. That's patreon.com/twosop. And of course, always go check out the website, UnitedStatesParanormal.com. Please go pick up some really cool fucking merchandise. Get out there and support the show.
Please.
Pretty please.
Yes.
Anything else?
No.
Got some great pods out there too. In the Golden Mojo Entertainment Empire. Get out there and check them out. They're all over the place. You can get them wherever you stream. You know the list. And if you don't know the list, go to goldenmojoent.com and they're all listed there, including the United States Paranormal. We have our own little page.
Yay.
That damn thing's about to get revamped too.
Okay.
That's on my list of to-do things.
Ooh.
Of course, when does this episode come out? Next on the what is this? What is this month? We're in November.
It'll be the 4th.
It'll be December 4th. Well, then go check out United States of Paranormal and check out this super fan. That's right, the month of December. Now, in case you missed it, month of November. Lance Menzie, Wonder Bread himself. Does a great job.
He said his last name right. Yay.
I've been practicing it all day. Thank you. He's doing an amazing job with the Puck Yeah podcast.
Good.
Super excited in the direction he's going with that. And he was our super fan of the month for November. But the super fan of the month for December, it is Larissa.
Nice.
Boom, boom, boom. There'll be a picture of her on the website. When me and the Rocker Chick were out there in Kansas City, and we got to go have lunch with her at the Blue Moose. So you're going to get the three of us and a big giant blue moose named Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful picture.
Bullwinkle, just Rocky.
No squirrel. I got no squirrel. There was no squirrel there. Fucking squirrel. Just Rocky the Blue Moose.
No blue moose knuckle.
There was no moose knuckle. I didn't look for any, so I mean, it is what it is. We had an amazing time with Larissa, and we're so happy she's a super fan. And in a few weeks, she is going to be on the show doing her own episode. She's been researching the story, and I am super excited, and she is super nervous. And I think once she gets on here with us, she'll just chill out and just have a blast like she always does. So it's not like she doesn't know us.
True.
Yeah. All right. I'm still, I'm not sure what my spotlight of the month is right at the moment, but we will definitely figure that out. And so check it out on the website. As of right now, I don't know what it is, but my bad.
Figure it out.
It'll be up on the website. So go check it out. United States Paranormal at .com. Which one am I talking about? Which one? All right, guys, we're out. Till next week. Keep it spooky. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at UnitedStatesOfParanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/2sop.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Golden 80s, The Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze, all of which can be found at goldenmojoent.com or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.